This week, the police in Newquay are due to take strong action against this nightclub. They're asking the council to review its licence because of a series of attacks here where glasses and glass bottles have been used as weapons. And as we discovered, they're not the only ones who say we should now call time on glass in places like this. A night on the town. It'll leave some with a banging headache, others banged up in the cells. But for the unlucky few, this kind of mayhem changes life forever.
Then it will give a little bit and then you'll feel the resistance, but don't move past that resistance to start with.
Jack Nutting doesn't like these hospital sessions. The therapy on his paralysed arm reminds him and his girlfriend Pippa of what he's lost.
You hear about it all the time, people getting attacked or someone gets bottled or glass in a pub, but you never actually see the outcome of it.
So, what I want to do is...
It's life-changing. It is. It's horrible.
The last test Jack took was to get into medical school. Now he struggles to solve a simple puzzle. Brain damage has affected his concentration, his memory and his eyesight. The left side of his body is paralysed. The cause, a single blow from a glass bottle. Soon Jack will face his attacker in court.
I'm dreading it. It's actually seeing him. That's the bit I'm dreading. For some reason, I don't know why.
In the meantime, Jack's on a mission. He's campaigning for a ban on glass in pubs and clubs.
Glasses and bottles, it's basically like you might as well go to a shop and give out knives because they can do the same damage. People go out to enjoy themselves, not to have their life change in minutes.
Jack's life changed in September 2010. He was fit and sporty and hoped to become a doctor. But it all went wrong in the London pub where he worked.
Basically just my night off. It was like, weren't working, so I thought I got the pub for a couple of drinks and meet a few friends up there.
In the early hours, a fight started between two girls.
It's an instant reaction really, just like going and trying to split them up.
But the boyfriend of one of the girls saw red.
It was about a couple of metres from where I was sitting. I stopped and just got cracked around the back of my head. It's like, I remember being drenched and having a taste of cider. It's like, touched my head, touched where I got hit. I can see blood on my hand.
The sheer force of the blow caused the brain damage. The wound you see is from surgery to remove a blood clot, which is shown as the white area on the left of this scan. Jack was in intensive care for a month. There are thousands of glass attacks every year, and Jack believes the answer is simple. Ban glass from venues where there's a risk of trouble. He and Pippa are campaigning online and in the street. He's got the backing of police and a local MP. But many pubs and clubs still use glass, and Jack wants to find out why. 2 years ago, the government asked designers to come up with a way to stop glassings. And here it is, a super tough or tempered pint glass.
We spoke to police officers, paramedics, surgeons, pub and club owners, and it seemed like the biggest safety issue was when a glass was smashed and turned into a pointed, jagged weapon.
In this footage from Cornwall, the man on the far right of the frame appears to try and do just that. He bangs his glass hard on the table in front of him, then smashes it on the face of the man in front. Toughened glass probably wouldn't have broken.
I mean, it is very, very strong. And this is really designed for the initial attacks that go on in bars. So you don't want it to break straight away. You want it actually to be tough, but when it does break, you want it to break in an actual controlled way. so it gives the victims time to actually react.
If it does break, you get harmless, rounded fragments. But its strength worries Jack.
How it shatters, that's perfect. The only thing I dislike about it is the strength that it is, how strong, literally how strong you have to whack something or hit someone with it for it to actually shatter. Because at the moment it's basically like it's a blunt object.
Next stop, Newquay, where there have been 44 glassings in the last 2 years. A big worry here is glass bottles. Police want them banned from certain venues and replaced with plastic alternatives. But not all clubs are complying. And this one faces a licence review this week for that very reason. Jack's come to meet the officer who's cracking down on glass.
Well, we're doing a couple of things to try and reduce glass attacks in Newquay. And the first one is trying to move over to the tempered glassware. I know you brought some with you here today. But the other thing is trying to get rid of bottles, because bottles, for whatever reason, can't be toughened. So we're trying to introduce plastic bottles into the pubs and clubs in Newquay. And I'm told that all really popular ranges at the moment aren't available in plastic. That's a real big problem, because the clubs are saying to me, well, we don't want to reduce our biggest range. And you know, I was speaking to my MP about this, because I would like there to be regulation that if you're going to sell alcohol in the UK in glass, you've got to at least have plastic as an option, so that the pubs and clubs can then purchase the plastic instead of the glass.
We asked 2 big drinks firms why some of their brands only came in glass. The makers of Sol told us that its biggest sellers came in plastic, but it said for smaller and imported brands this was impossible to do. Jack was hit by one of these. The makers said there had not been the demand for it to come in plastic because it was a relatively new product. The bottom line is cost. The ultra-strong pint glass costs 15% more than the conventional alternative. Plastic bottles are up to 10p more. And licensees say the problem isn't just packaging, but people.
Certainly packaging is something that could be changed, so it can be looked at, but it's a small number of people who unfortunately don't know how to behave themselves in polite company. They have a low tolerance to alcohol. Perhaps there's something wrong with them, that they feel the need to grab a weapon and hit someone with it. Don't do it. It's, you know, you potentially could kill someone.
There you go. Couple come up now, babe.
On the street, Jack and Pippa are worried. Will the public agree that glass isn't really the issue, or will they back the campaign?
Good luck, all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's safe for children. I think it's safe for families who like to sit in a pub and when these yobbos come round and start chucking things around, they're not going to with plastic, are they?
If it doesn't stop the violence, it stops the injuries. So why not? All right.
Thank you.
Cheers. No problem. Hope you do well with it.
Like, you've got locals down here saying no, it's ridiculous. At least I'm not the only one that thinks that now. Pretty chuffed.
Back in London, justice is about to be served on Jack's attacker. Peter Rowley, who's hiding his face, has already pleaded guilty. And this is his last taste of freedom for a long time. Jack was in court to hear Rowley get 7 years and apologise.
He's just saying that he didn't mean to do what he did, and he didn't intend to cause the damage.
Did that mean anything to you?
Not really. I'm just glad it's over now. That's over, and just move on.
Is it like a line in the sand for you?
Yeah, just carry on with my life now. Got a new one.
A number of cities have now piloted glass bans. They didn't turn back the tide of drunken violence, but they did cut the number of serious injuries. Jack might not become a doctor, but with his campaign, he could yet save lives.